What's going on, Jets fans? Happy Monday morning to all of you guys. And coming up on today's show, we'll be recapping the Jets Steelers Week 1 Classic. And I got some great news and some bad news for you guys. Overall, the great news, the Jets look pretty good top to bottom. But the bad news, some mental mistakes. And at the end of the day, you are 0-1 to start the season. But there is a lot of positivity to build off from this Week 1 game. And if you guys are happy with how the Jets played, can't believe I'm asking this after a loss, but I feel like it fits the bill here. If you guys are happy with how the Jets played, hit that thumbs up icon. I definitely am. I understand 0-1 is not good, but I am a huge process over results guy in anything in life, and the process for the New York Jets yesterday was absolutely fantastic. The result, obviously a different situation, but a lot to build off of. So if you guys are happy with how the Jets played, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. All right, so the number one thing to be happy about here is Justin Fields. He looked fantastic. Probably the best game he has ever played in his NFL career. From start to finish, he was cooking a very good Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And also, there's context to everything. If Fields went out there and he torched the Miami Dolphins defense, or if he torched one of the poor bottom feeders in the National Football League, I wouldn't be overreacting the way I am. But the fact that he did this against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where passing the football, the guy was awesome. You know, he was staying strong in the pocket. He had great pocket presence. And even when he had to make a couple of guys miss, step up, he kept his eyes downfield, a bunch of plays where he was just creating stuff, playing backyard football. And I thought Tanner Engstrand called a beautiful game for Fields. But even when the play was off script, didn't go well, he was still able to make some plays with how athletic he is. And just throwing the football, I mean, he had a couple of throws, just putting those on a damn line. So he looked amazing. Also, just that dual threat ability is such an X factor for this Jets team. I would like them to go to that tush push maybe a little more. I mean, we saw Fields convert one for a touchdown, and they felt like they were about 2.5 yards out. So top to bottom, start to finish, Justin Fields played one of his best games, and I cannot wait to see how they build off this. Like, this should just be the start. Now let's get better every single week, especially with a big-time game against the Bills coming up this Sunday. But the defensive line, they look fantastic. And, you know, even though the Jets defense gave up a lot of points, I don't think the defensive line should really be at fault for that because, number one, they were able to stop the Steelers' rushing attack. You knew coming into this game the Steelers were going to try to establish a run, get the play action going with Aaron Rodgers, but they did not do that. And it starts with the blue chippers. It starts with Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams was absolutely fantastic yesterday. 5 tackles, 2 TFLs, had a sack, 3 quarterback hits. If it was in the run game, he was making plays. If he was pinning his ears back, trying to get home to the quarterback, he was making plays there. And we've said it so much with this team, especially defensively. The blue chippers got to be blue chippers. And Quinnen, he looked like one of the better interior defensive linemen in the NFL yesterday. So a bunch of love going to 95. I can't wait to see him build off this great performance. But he did what he needed to do. Steelers, shaky interior offensive line. Quinnen took advantage and had a good matchup with the Bills this upcoming Sunday. So we'll see if he can build off that and have another good performance. But how about this guy? It is breakout season for Will McDonald, man. He played his tail off. 3 tackles, 2 TFLs, 2 sacks. I thought everybody was telling me Will McDonald can't set the edge. He can't stop the run. He was doing that at a high level. He put some nasty moves also on some Steelers offensive linemen, so he impressed me. And also, not just the defensive line looking amazing, the Jets offensive line also looked fantastic. Armand Membu pitched a shutout in yesterday's game. 0 pressures when you're going up against TJ Watt. The whole offensive line looked great. So the trenches, which is huge in this modern day 2025 NFL we have, you got to be able to win in the trenches. And the Jets, at least week 1, it's looking like the trenches were pretty damn solid. So number 3 for me, another takeaway I had, Breece Hall looked just flat out amazing. And, you know, even if I didn't know what his raw numbers were and you just watch the game and you're watching this guy run the football, you're saying this is one of the most explosive backs in the NFL. And I was completely wrong. I didn't think he looked that good in the preseason. Breece Hall, if you're watching this show, I was wrong about you. Thank you so much for proving me wrong because you looked amazing against the Steelers yesterday. 19 carries for over 100 yards, 5.6 yards per rush. And, you know, the offensive line did a great job in majority of the game. They were creating massive holes. Breece was finding them. But even when the offensive line got beat, Breece Hall would just make a guy miss, get the most out of every single carry. I am very curious to see what his rushing yards over expected were in this game. But I thought he looked the part. He looked good. Going to see how the Jets, maintain this, thunder and lightning they have with him and Braylon Allen. I can't see Breece Hall going out there every single week and getting 20 carries, but if he's hot and he's feeling it like he was yesterday, might as well. I mean, he was a big reason, especially when the Jets answered in that fourth quarter after the Phantom, Xavier Gibson fumble and the Steelers scored. But big reason why they answered on that next drive was Breece Hall was running wild. He looked good from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. So, again, let's see if he can build off that. But overall, he looked damn good. And, even though the Jets are 0-1 here, it could be sad. You could be upset about it. I'm just kind of fired up. I'm fired up to see how this team looks next week against a Super Bowl contender in your building against the Buffalo Bills. So if you guys are fired up for the rest of the season, hit me with a me down below in the comments section. All right, we'll get to more takeaways here in a second, but quickly, if you guys want some more New York Jets merch in your life, we got a sweet deal going on right now. And if you just click that link, chatsports.com/Jets hoodies, I'll make sure to put that in the comment section and description of today's show. You guys can get this sweet Jets cutoff hoodie. It's on a great deal right now. So make sure you guys take advantage. Check it out, chatsports.com/Jets hoodies. All right, now I do want to talk about the secondary here, and I'll exclude Sauce Gardner from this conversation. I thought Sauce Gardner had a hell of a day. Anytime he was one-on-one with DK Metcalf, they rarely threw the ball to DK, and when they did, he was making plays. So this does not include Sauce Gardner. Even I thought Cisco had a solid performance, but the guy that really struggled, even though he had a great play late in the fourth quarter, Brandon Stephens. I mean, he had that one dropped interception. On that one Calvin Austin play-action touchdown after the Xavier Gibson fumble, I mean, he just got beat by 7 yards on that play. So he didn't look good. He also could not tackle at all. I mean, the amount of times he had to go break down, chop his feet, make a tackle in the open field, he just couldn't get it done. So you obviously have A.Z. Thomas, the rookie, waiting in the reins behind him. I doubt they make that switch this quick, but Brandon Stephens, you're going to be a guy that teams pick on because we also saw 3rd and 11. Steelers are just trying to get in field goal range. What did they do? They went one-on-one with Calvin Austin and Brandon Stephens and were just banking on him either committing a penalty or giving up a play. He almost committed a penalty, but I could see that being the case if he is still out there across from Sauce Gardner, where it's just like, hey, wherever 21 is, whatever receiver he is on, if they're in man-to-man coverage, just throw him the football. So he struggled a little bit, and I think also Tony Adams, you got a guy like Malachi Moore. Again, very similar situations with A.Z. Thomas and Malachi Moore. We have Tony Adams and Brandon Stephens. I'll see how quickly Glenn decides to pull the plug on those, veterans and go with the rookies. But Tony Adams struggled. Again, tackling was an issue. And, that gets to the last takeaway here, the mental mistakes. Like, there was no reason the Jets should have lost that game. They outplayed the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it was the little things. And that's with a growing team who is starting to build a culture. Like, that is going to happen. And Aaron Glenn had this quote on the turnovers and the penalties after the game. This was coming in from Zach Rosenblatt. Aaron Glenn saying, you will not be on the field if you cause us to lose games. So what is he talking about? One, the late hit penalties, which were sometimes 50-50 calls, but you just can't do it. Like, you can't just give up 15 yards. Like the one, I believe it was Quincy Williams, Jets have a great stop. It should be a 2nd and 12. Late in the second half, you get a flag and moves the ball up a free 15 yards. That just can't happen if you want to be a really good football team. And Aaron Glenn knows this. Like, he's coming from the Detroit Lions organization, which is one of the best over the last couple of years. And I'm also sure he's talking about Xavier Gibson. He was showing Gibson all types of love. Saying, you guys don't see what I see every day at practice on the reason he made the team. But I wouldn't be shocked if this is true, Jamal Pritchett should be the kick returner next week. Gibson shouldn't be out there. And it sucks for Gibson because majority of the game, he was returning well. But that's the reality of the NFL. One mental mistake, one lapse can cost the team a football game and cost yourself your job. And I think that's what happened. So, in the end, I understand we are all, probably a little upset waking up that the Jets are 0-1, but you might have a franchise quarterback. You might have one of the better offenses that we have seen in New York over the last couple of years, and it starts with Fields. So if you guys want to show him some love to close out today's show, give me those JF7s. I cannot wait to watch this guy play this upcoming Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. So if you guys want to show him some more love, give me those JF7s down below. And we'll see you guys next time. As always,